YouTube? Film Geek here, and today I am counting down my top 10 Nicolas Cage films. That's right, Nicolas Cage week has come to an end, and I'm counting down my top favorite Nicolas Cage films. Now, this list, of course, is just my opinion. I'm not basing this off of any kind of Rotten Tomatoes score. I am basing this off of my own personal feelings and what movies I really enjoy that he was in. These may not be his best performances, they may not be his best movies, but they're my favorites, and that's what I want to share with you guys. My favorite films, my opinions, we can discuss about it, and that's what I enjoy doing. So, anyways, leave any comments you want down in the below. Number 10.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
National Treasure. Oh man, this movie came out in 2004, and I know it's a goofy freaking movie. It's silly, it's dumb, the concept is ridiculous, and going on this scavenger hunt throughout the United States set up by the Masons. It's one of those movies that you can just enjoy with your friends, with your family, and have a good time every time you watch it. Nicolas Cage does a perfectly good performance in this one. Not quite over the top, he has his moments, but mostly a pretty rein-in, pretty normal performance out of the Mr. Cage in this one. Number 9, Con Air.
Hey Larkin, who's that guy?
That is Cameron Poe, a parolee hitching a ride home. He's a nobody.
Now first off, let me tell you this. This movie is not good. This movie is actually pretty freaking bad. The whole idea of this prison break in an airplane, the amount of just coincidental crap that must happen in order for these guys to actually take over the airplane is just freaking astronomical. However, it is fun. Con Air is great. This is one of those movies that has an excruciatingly weak script, horrible plot, unbelievable, stupid things, but the actors deliver fantastic performances that fit this movie perfectly. And of course, you got John Malkovich, Steve Buscemi, Dave Chappelle. I mean, the thing's got some really great actors who deliver some pretty good performances for such a horrible script. Number 8.
Say, how is your daughter anyway? Is she right in front of you? Your darling Janie, your little peach, is she right?
I want to take his face off. Number 8 is 1997's Face Off. Ooh, Face Off. This was like a competition between John Travolta and Nicolas Cage on who can overact more. If you don't like goofy, stupid popcorn of action flicks, then first off, why? Secondly, you are going to love this movie. This thing is just nothing but popcorn action, directed by John Woo. Oh man, this thing is great, and it's well shot. This is not just a crappy B action film. No, Face Off is well done, it's well shot, it's fun, it's stupid, it's a great opportunity again to pop up a big old batch of that popcorn, dump some butter on it, and you start eating it up. Face Off. Number 7. Lord of War.
My father's easily offended.
My schedule just freed up.
Lord of War came out in 2005. This movie, I really enjoy this film. He plays an international arms dealer. Some of the things that are really cool about this movie is that every now and then Nick Cage will break the fourth wall and he'll talk directly to the audience. It gives you insights into what's going on, his thought process, blah 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 blah. Did really bad at the box office. It's one of those hidden gems. It just kind of got lost in the shuffle somewhere down the line. Number 6 did not get lost in the shuffle. This one was one of those big old budget monster making movies, and that is 1996, The Rock.
Pearl was right. Why don't you just spend $13 on a CD, man?
First of all, it's because I'm a Beatlemaniac. And second, these sound better.
Oh, come on, man. You have Nicolas Cage. You also have Sean Connery. Sean Connery, the one man who ever escaped Alcatraz, is going in with chemical warfare expert Nicolas Cage. And together they're going to stop a rogue group of soldiers who are taking over Alcatraz and threatening the people of San Francisco. Yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, where the hell have you been? Number 5 is Kick-Ass.
Take cover, John! Not wet to grip the line!
So, why is this number 5? Because the burning alive scene, oh my god, on fire, screaming a hit girl. What? Again, Kick-Ass. 2010, check it out if you haven't seen it yet. It's an over-the-top, violent film with the big superhero love of today. I'm sure you've seen it. Number 4 is a Nicolas Cage film from 1988, and that is Vampire Kiss. This is the movie where Nicolas Cage wants to let us know that he knows the alphabet. Vampire's Kiss is one of those legendary cult films that's floating around in circles. It's definitely one of those get your friends together and watch movies. This is a meme-worthy movie. If you've seen the meme that floats around with Nick Cage's eyes wide open, he's like, that's from this movie. This is a great one. If you want to watch Nick Cage go completely bonkers for close to an hour and a half, this is the movie for you. Who gets bitten in kind of some S&M type thing, and then he thinks he's a vampire. Vampire, if he isn't, and you don't really get into that, but you just get to watch Nick Cage go freaking balls to the wall crazy. Number 3, Wild at Heart. Wild at Heart is directed by David Lynch, starring Nicolas Cage, and it's just a crazy, semi-surreal crime caper. And, oh man, this movie is nuts. I particularly am a big Lynch fan. I know he's kind of an acquired taste, being a surrealist filmmaker. It can get a little weird at times. If you like David Lynch, if you like Wizard of Oz heavy-handed kind of imagery, and if you also like Willem Dafoe acting crazy as hell too, so that's right, you have Nick Cage, Willem Dafoe, acting like crazy people. Number 2 is one of my all-time favorite movies from the 80s, and that is Valley Girl.
Oh, bitch, and is this in 3D? No, but your face is.
Nicolas Cage, Deborah Foreman, Valley Girl, 1983. Adaptation of a Romeo and Juliet romantic comedy type story. Deborah Foreman plays a valley girl from the valley in California. So you have your dynamic of the poor kid, rich girl, I guess, kind of dynamic with this movie. Performances between Deborah Foreman and Nick Cage are great, and the chemistry between the two of them is very believable. And it's just really one of those 1980s, kind of movies. What is my all-time favorite Nicolas Cage movie? Number 1.
I said so, H.I. McDonough. And if he wants to discuss it, he knows where to find me. In the Maricopa County Maximum Security Correctional Facility for Men, State Farm Road, number 31, Tempe, Arizona. I'll be waiting.
Raising Arizona, 1987, starring Holly Hunter and Nicolas Cage, also some John Goodman sprinkled in for good measure. Nicolas Cage plays a man who falls in love with a local sheriff's deputy. He himself is a small-time criminal. By small-time, I mean like bumping off liquor stores small-time. Unfortunately, they cannot conceive, and these two really, really want to have a baby. Don't worry, there's the Arizona family. Now, these people have way more babies than they need. So Nicolas Cage takes it upon himself to kidnap one of these babies, thinking that nobody's really going to notice anyway. Now, if you're not familiar with Raising Arizona, this is a Coen Brothers film. This is one of their earlier ones. This has that same kind of comedy that you would find in something like The Big Lebowski. So check it out. 1987's Raising Arizona, my number 1 movie. Now, some of you guys might be sitting there going, Chris, my God, you left out one movie. And what movie am I talking about? Well, of course, I'm talking about Leaving Las Vegas, the movie that Nicolas Cage won Best Actor for, won an Academy Award, the most hallowed of all trophies. So now, why didn't I mention this movie? Well, it's a great movie. I'm not going to deny the fact. Nicolas Cage delivers an amazing performance of a scriptwriter at his wit's end of alcoholism. He gets fired from his job, travels to Las Vegas to literally drink himself to death, get rid of the last bit of money that he has, and just die. Okay, see, now that's why it's not on this list. It's not because it's not a good movie. It's because it's kind of a bummer. So, kudos for the performance, Nicolas Cage. This is a side note. If you haven't seen Leaving Las Vegas, please watch it. I rated these movies by how likely I am to pop them in my DVD player / Blu-ray player or what have you. I'm more likely to pop these movies in than I am to put in Leaving Las Vegas. So, Leaving Las Vegas has a nice little side note to it, and that is, this movie's great, it's a fantastic performance, check it out. You are going to be left with some very... That brings us to the end of yet another video. Thank you yet again for checking out the Film Geek. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked what I did. And you know what? Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications so you know when I put up another one of these little bits of cinema knowledge. And don't forget, keep watching movies, folks, because you know I'm gonna.